హాయ్ నమస్తే వెల్కమ్ టు గేమ్స్ అండ్ గోల్స్. ఇండియన్ క్రికెట్కి సంబంధించి రంజీ ట్రోఫీ ద ప్రేయర్ టోర్నమెంట్, అలాంటి రంజీ ట్రోఫీని గెలిచినటువంటి 3 సందర్భాల్లో తన యొక్క ఆట తీరుతోటి జట్టుకి ఉపయోగపడి 3 సార్లు రంజీ ట్రోఫీని గెలిచినటువంటి జట్లలో భాగస్వామి అయినటువంటి విజయ్ మోహన్రాజ్ ముంబైకి 2 సార్లు, అలాగనే ఎప్పుడో లాంగ్ బ్యాక్ 35 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం హైదరాబాద్ రంజీ ట్రోఫీని గెలిచినప్పుడు దాంట్లో ప్రధానమైనటువంటి పాత్ర పోషించినటువంటి, ఆ తర్వాత అటు కోచ్గా సెలెక్టర్గా తన యొక్క క్రికెటింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్ని మళ్ళా క్రికెట్కి తిరిగిస్తున్నటువంటి వ్యక్తి విజయ్ మోహన్రాజ్. సో ఆయన్ని అడిగి ఈ రోజున వారి యొక్క క్రికెటింగ్ అనుభవాల్ని, క్రికెట్ 70వ దశకం నుంచి ఇప్పటిదాకా ఈ 5 దశాబ్దాల కాలం పాటు ఏ రకమైనటువంటి పరిణామక్రమాన్ని చెందుతూ వచ్చింది, ఏ రకమైనటువంటి మార్పుల్ని చెందుతూ వచ్చింది అనేటువంటి విషయాలన్నింటినీ కూడా అడిగి తెలుసుకుందాం. సార్ నమస్తే, థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ యువర్ టైం. First, basically, how you started your cricketing journey? Means, do you have any background from your house or?
No, actually, my family, there was no connection with cricket at all. It is just that when I was in school in Bombay, St. Mary's School, they didn't even have a cricket team. So, because of my craze for the game near my house, I got a chance to go to Hindu Gymkhana. And at that place there was this great Penumarthi was coaching over there. So my father, he knew I was very interested in the game.
Yeah.
So he put me in that camp. There used to be a camp called LR Tersi, where all these Mankad's sons and all of the youngsters from Bombay used to come and practice. So there used to be a selection over there. And at that time, I got selected in that particular group under Mr. Penumarthi. And that was the time when I actually got interested in playing proper game. Otherwise, we were playing tennis ball and all that. So that's how I started my cricket. And this was just in my school days. So when I went to school, and there we used to play inter-class, inter-house tournaments, but not. So having seen my background, and seeing that I got selected for Maharashtra schools without our school participating, they got the motivation to field a school team.
Yeah.
And in the very first year that we played the junior under 15 inter-school tournament, we came to the finals because I had a lot of big scores that year. But to be honest, I never ever idolized anybody in the Indian team, although I liked everybody. But I never thought that I would ever become a professional cricketer. My aim was to go to the IIT because my parents were very keen that I take interest in my academics and not my game.
You did your MBA?
That was later on. So when I went to school, it was just my academics, and if I had time, my father allowed me to play cricket. So I was playing many games. I was playing table tennis also. My first state scholarship that I got was on table tennis, not cricket.
Not cricket.
Not cricket. And I used to play these games, but also was okay in academics. I was a science student doing mathematics, physics, chemistry. So I was planning to join IIT. But then there was a sudden change in my fortunes, that when I came into the Bombay schools team, my interest, I was playing with Vengsarkar and I was playing with these
Sunil
people.
Gavaskar.
No, Sunil Gavaskar was much senior to me. So Dilip and there were a lot of other youngsters who played ultimately for India, who were in the Bombay schools team. And then I started taking cricket a little more seriously. And that's how I started the game. And later on, when I came to university, because I was a good student, I got straight away into
the state team.
In those days in ISC, if you did your ISC, you got a double promotion. I came straight into the second year of college.
Okay.
So when I came into the second year of college, I realized that I could not play the game as well as concentrate on studies. I chose the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got picked for the Bombay University team, and then Bombay University team is to win the Rohinton Baria every year. And that's how I got interested in the game. Ranji Trophy was never in my dreams. Bombay, playing Ranji Trophy for Bombay was not a thought that crossed my mind. They say now that your fate changes. That was the first year that they allowed university students to get employment in Bombay. So I got employment with ACC, where Sunil Gavaskar and all these Polyumrigar, Bapu Natkani, Ramakant Desai, many of the Bombay players, and also it was a very good team. So I got employment in ACC, and after I got employment in ACC, the under 22 team was selected, Bombay. I got selected in that team, and then we went for the CK Naidu Trophy. That was the first or second year of CK Naidu Trophy. And there I scored a lot of runs. So suddenly I came into the limelight, and one fine day when I was sitting in my office in Bombay, and Sunil Gavaskar came and told me, Vijay, you're in the Bombay team. And that was the biggest shock of my life, because those days Bombay team was having 9 current test players. So that was something which I did not expect. And that's it. And then after that I started playing little higher grade of cricket.
And then actually
higher grade of cricket. I was playing Time Shield. Time Shield, very good tournament. You must be aware that it used to be of a very high standard, even higher than Ranji Trophy.
Correct.
And everybody was very happy. My team, I was getting a lot of runs from my office team, and then things turned around. That's it.
Now, of course, we are seeing that aggression and fast game. But even when you are playing, I think Vijay Mohanraj is that kind of aggression and fast game. How you developed that even early 70s itself?
No, I was not one of those aggressive players, but I was considered to be a person who could fit into every level. I could play one days and all. As a matter of fact, 2 years I had the fastest 100 in Bombay cricket.
That's the reason actually I put that question to you.
There's a trophy in Bombay called the Jasdenwala Trophy. So 2 years I had the record for the fastest 100.
Hundreds, correct.
In Bombay cricket. But I got this. I used to go to play league cricket in England every summer. Right from just when I came into the Ranji team, I got a chance to play in the Bradford League and the Huddersfield League.
Okay.
And there I learned how to play in the T20s and the 50-over games, and I learned how one has to pace the innings, things like that. So that helped me in playing whatever I did. I was considered a very sticky player when it came to the Ranji Trophy and all, playing long innings most of the time. That was something which was, the people used to say that I had a lot of patience. Okay. I could stay the whole day and stay on the ground. Okay. So that helped me actually in my cricket.
Other than the sporting culture field, naturally you are known as VMR.
That's right.
But I know that Vijay Mohanraj's nickname is Tony. How it is?
Well, it's just a childhood family name. It was given to me by my family, and it stuck on. And many people later on started calling me by Tony, not by my name.
Yeah, correct.
Especially in Bombay, most of my friends, they know me as Tony. And that just got stuck with me. So there's no reason really for that.
Generally, everybody wants to play for Mumbai because Mumbai is, and True. Even actually you mentioned that time Mumbai team itself heavily packed with test cricketers and everything. But what made you to shift to Hyderabad?
Well, there is, like in every field there is a lot of ups and downs. We have groups. One group and the other group, and the same thing was happening in Bombay as well. Okay. And when you start winning every year, you start taking a lot of things for granted. So same thing, I got into that trap, and then I thought it was better for me to change my state, because Bombay had a lot of people playing in the zone team. In those days, you had to come from the state team to the Dalip Trophy, and then you went up. But for me to get into the West Zone team would have been very difficult. because you had Ramnath Parkar, you had Sunil Gavaskar, you had Dilip Vengsarkar. I don't know how many of you know, but Dilip used to actually open for Bombay earlier. And I used to bat at number 3.
Because actually I have the interaction with Dilip when he was the TRDO head.
So I was not very confident that I could take the next step. So I thought that Biatis will change my zone. So I had some interest. My father had some interest in Hyderabad. Grape farm he had in Shamshabad. So I had an address, because in those days if you wanted to change your state, either you had to be born or you had to have domicile. So the only way I could play for another state was on domicile, not on birth. So in those days I was working for a company in Bombay called Nirlon Synthetics, where Sunil, Ravi Shastri, it was a good team. And I went to my managing director and I told him my problem. And immediately, although they didn't have a branch office here at that time, he allowed me to operate from Hyderabad. So I got a transfer to Hyderabad, and based on that, I qualified to play for Hyderabad, of course, by playing league matches. So initially I used to come here to play the league matches only. But after a year, it became very difficult. So I took a residence over here, and I started staying here.
Gymkhana.
I started staying here, and to be honest, I love this place. And my love for Hyderabad has been right from then. And I thought this is a good place to actually start a life and career. And that's how I stayed in Hyderabad.
And you are the main source for Hyderabad winning Ranji Trophy 87.
I got a double 100 in the second innings. The first innings was Azim and Arshad got the runs. But it's not the finals only, it's right through the season. I think that was a golden year for Hyderabad, especially our batsmen. But I had about 790 runs at an average of 76 in that year. And we performed very well right through the team. The entire team batted extremely well. So that was one of those golden years of Hyderabad where everybody was in good form. And we all came to form together. It was not like, we were not patchy that we were getting runs in one match and failing in the other. It was very consistent. So I think the credit for winning the Ranji Trophy should not go to any one individual. It was
it's a team game, of course.
It was a teamwork, and we got the breaks at the right time. So I think that was one of those years where nobody can point out really why we won the Ranji Trophy. I think the whole team got together, and we worked together, and we performed extremely well right through the season. It's not just one match.
Of course. Even Rajesh Yadav performed,
right,
and Arshad Ayub, Shivlal.
So I think that was one of the great experiences for me as well.
It happened in 87. Now it is almost 35 years.
That's right.
And even you have seen the game evolving from your days, early 70s to right now. All these 45, 50 years. How the game evolved?
I think earlier you had few good teams in India. Today it's not like that. Today even the smaller states are doing extremely well. The reason for that is that now the game has become more scientific. Preparation is more scientific. Right all over they are having better coaching, better preparation. So I think the game has evolved to the extent that it has become more science has come into it. It's not so much, in our time you had the talent, probably you were physically fit, you could get away. But today it's not just that, it's a lot of more, there's a mental preparation, there's a physical preparation. As a matter of fact, after I finished my cricket in 87, even before that, I had a lot of interest in coaching. I used to observe others, and I used to try and find out why things are happening. I had this curiosity to learn about the game, and I think I learnt more about the game after I finished playing than when I was playing. I wish I had that much knowledge which I am having today at the time when I was playing. But today's children are fortunate because they have trained coaches and all that. I myself did my level C at NCA. I passed those exams. I did it with distinction. I became a faculty. I have certified many coaches all over India for about 5-6 years being on the faculty. And I am very happy to say that there is a lot of learning that has happened about the game. So today's team and our time team, there's a lot of difference as far as knowledge of the game. People know what to do in our time, but they did not know why we were doing what we were doing. Today's player not only knows what to do, but he also knows why he is doing those things.
Okay.
And there is a lot of science which goes into everything, and a lot of learning happening now.
Being a senior player, which you rate high, this faster game or that regular multi-days?
No, I think the test match is the key, is the best way to, most enjoyable way to watch a game if you are a knowledgeable person. But if you are a common spectator, you would enjoy the shorter version because it's more of activity, more of action. It's never boring. So it depends, and today the game has become a crowd puller because of the shorter version. Even people who do not know anything about the game want to watch it. The craze is so much. So I feel as a knowledgeable person who knows the game, I would prefer to watch a test match or a Ranji Trophy match than a one-day game. But for a common man, it's the T20 and limited overs which is enjoyable. And I think the money that has come into the game is because of so many people watching. So whatever is happening is in the right direction. I don't see anything is bad in this or good in this. But all these things have brought the spectator to the sport. And any sport, if it has spectator interest only, it evolves. The sad part is that the money should be used properly at the grassroots, which I am afraid is not happening.
And scoring double century in the Ranji Trophy finals is a very big achievement. So after that, your performance, did you ever feel that yes, I would have been selected for the Indian team? What happened actually? Why you are not there?
No, as a matter of fact, before that season started, I had decided that this was going to be my last season. So it was nothing to do with my performance. The reason why I wanted it was my last season was there were two things. In those days, in order to get into the zone team, as I was told, if you were over 30, they won't consider you.
Oh.
So I was already 30. I was 30 and I became 31 in September when we played the Ranji finals. And the second thing was that we were no money in the game. So my problem was that I had to even survive. See, I had to run my profession, my family and things like that.
Yeah.
I was not from a rich background, as people think. Although my parents were okay, good upper class people, but I had no help from my parents in the sense that I was not taking money from anybody. I was just surviving on whatever I was doing with my cricket. So I realized that I couldn't go on like this for long.
Okay.
And I had taken a decision before the season started. As a matter of fact, that was my last game, the Ranji finals. I didn't play after that for Hyderabad.
Yeah, not for only Hyderabad, Mansell, that was your
No, I didn't play any first class cricket after that. Yeah.
But are you still continuing playing for corporate or anything?
No, I am not playing.
You are not?
No, not now.
You are totally stopped playing.
Yeah. Although I was coaching the Hyderabad
Ranji team.
Ranji team, I coached. I also was a coach at your academy, which we had in Gymkhana for about 10 to 15 years. Even when I was playing, I was coaching here in the academy. I wasn't charging any money. And then later on, I was asked to join the NCA when Arun and R. Sridhar, before that group was there. But unfortunately, I could not stay in Bangalore because I had started a business over here. Yeah. So I could just go there for the orientation programs or for level A's certification programs where I was a faculty, but I could not do a full-time NCA job. Okay. And then I was encouraged to come to an academy was starting here, so I offered my services to the local academy. So I had a choice between being a part of the local academy or going to NCA. Okay. I chose Hyderabad because I wanted to be in Hyderabad. I didn't want to go to Bangalore. Okay. So that is it. And I coached, I was on that program for quite a few years until 2 years back or 3 years back when this issue came and the academy shut down. And after that, there has been no coaching happening.
So you are a selector of Hyderabad, Ranji.
I was, yeah.
You were
Chairman twice. Yeah.
Chairman twice, and that means
Yeah.
actually. So being a player and after turning into a selector, what actually that difficulty you find when you are a selector?
I think when I was playing, I used to be very hurt when some people or me, I had got a rough deal from the selectors.
Oh,
I had many incidents like that, and that used to
At
really hurt
Mumbai?
me.
at Mumbai?
Both Bombay and Hyderabad.
Hyderabad,
Yeah.
okay.
I used to feel that selection is done in a very ad hoc manner. It's done with keeping people in mind, not the game. There were groups operating. All these things were happening. So I
Even
was
those days?
Even those days when I was playing.
Yeah, that's what.
And when I became a selector, and I was not influenced by any group, because I was not part of any administration, or I was not taking part in any election or anything. So I was not part of any group. So I could be brutally honest with what I was doing. And you know, it's not easy to be honest.
Correct.
Because when you are taking a stand based on the ability of a person, and then when some vested interest comes in, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So I did find those difficulties. Maybe 90% I could succeed. I think at that 10% was one which people didn't want me there. And as it happened, I rubbed on the wrong side of a lot of people. And that is it. But I'm happy with what I did. I'm very happy because I was not financially dependent on anybody. I've been independent financially all throughout, and I didn't have any urge to be dishonest. So I'm very happy with what I achieved.
You have so much knowledge of the game and the rules of the game and everything. Then did you ever try to come into the administration part?
I would have liked to. I'll be honest, I would have liked to, but I was so disgusted with the kind of politics and groupism that was happening that I thought it was a waste of time shifting coming to that level. I didn't want to come down to a level where I had to actually go and beg for votes.
Okay.
I'm not in that kind of thing. Although I have been fighting elections in my other field where I was the president of SCOL,
Yeah.
Hyderabad, president chairman of the Travel Agents Association. I was international director where all elections are involved.
Correct.
But I didn't want to get to the level of what was happening in Hyderabad at that time.
Okay. And you are the manager for Deccan Chargers in the IPL also.
That's right.
The
First year.
fastest, first year you are the manager. So actually, how that atmosphere and culture means the regular cricket
I think
is
first year
different.
nobody knew what to do. To be honest, that IPL of the first year was like people were experimenting, and we did all the hard work, including putting the chairs in Rajiv Gandhi Stadium, the security, everything was done by me and my team.
Yeah.
So we did all the hard work, but unfortunately I was with a franchise where they had their internal issues.
Core group
Okay.
and
So, but it was a good experience. It was good to be doing something different. We didn't do well at all in the very first year, although we had the best team. The reasons were many why we didn't do well. But honestly, the whole objective of starting this IPL has been defeated now. Because earlier it was supposed to be, when we started, it was supposed to be the local team, Hyderabad team, with local players plus the overseas players. And then from local players it became like a bucket. So we had Orissa and Andhra.
Yeah,
and
that catchment
Hyderabad,
area.
Catchment area. So the first year was supposed to be like that. But midway somewhere, even there they compromised in the first year, and you had guys like Rajasthan taking players from all over the place. And so, to be honest, nobody knew, nobody actually, what the IPL was supposed to be started and what the IPL has ended up is completely different. It was supposed to be a local team to encourage local players and also to sell merchandise locally, less like football, you know, Manchester, to encourage create the hype in the game locally, but that's not the case. Now you see Sunrisers is not a local team at all, it's a Chennai based
franchisee.
franchisee.
Yeah.
and there is no local Hyderabad player playing in the team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's been completely defeated, but it's very popular. So
Yes.
thank you very much. Everything is doing well. They're making a lot of money. So, but that's not what IPL was meant for.
And see, naturally, cricket is of course the popular sport in the country, but there are limited opportunities for the players too, because anyway you have to be only 15 in the squad. So there is a lot of competition and everything. If anybody wants to take the cricket as their profession, with your experience, actually, what the boy should do?
First thing, I don't think this is right. I think today the opportunities are far more than it was in our time. We had only one team. There was no A team. That team played 8 or 9 games in a year. Apart from that, you had to be playing for the
Local.
other tournaments. Like in our time, we had this Moinudollah, we had Arlem Trophy, we had Time Shield. We had so many
Even
local tournaments which were very important.
Yeah.
So you got employed and then your company played in those tournaments. There was a lot of media coverage, and that's how it was. Today you are having an A team, you are having a B team, in Challenger Trophy you are even having a C team.
Yeah.
So more people are getting chances, and even your under 16, under 19 is your kids are getting chances. So the opportunities are more. The only thing is the number of people playing the game is far higher than what it used to be.
Yeah.
So I feel that if you want to get your chances, but you have to be prepared at all times. You have to be working hard at all times. It's not like just before the tournament you get into a groove and start practicing and all. It's not like that now. There's a lot of preparation
Throughout the year.
Yes, but the preparation has to be scientific. It's not going to be intensive all through the year.
Yeah.
But there has to be a proper preparation, and if you want to play the game, you have to play the game with a lot of passion and a lot of hard work. It's not just passion like us, but passion and hard work.
Okay.
And you will get your opportunities. It's not that you will not, but it's not like it used to be before. So I think the opportunities are more now.
Sir, Hyderabad has won the Ranji Trophy in 87. That means almost for next year it is completing 35 years. It's a very long gap. So with your experience, what do you suggest to get back that glory to Hyderabad cricket?
To be honest, when we won the Ranji Trophy 35 years back, I had made a statement just after winning, which I became very unpopular for that statement. I said we won it in spite of the system, not because of the system. Because many people were trying to, amongst the administration and selectors were trying to take credit for our victory.
Oh.
So that was not the case really. And I still say it, that until we improve the system, we will not win Ranji Trophy. To win the game, everybody in the administration should be looking at preparing to how to win, not how to play.
Okay.
See, we are very happy. We are very happy just playing and doing, some people doing well and people getting selected for zone or for the country.
Yeah.
But we are not talking about winning the tournament itself. We are not preparing for winning the tournament. I don't think our preparations from junior level is to build a team that will win the Ranji Trophy. I don't think that is happening. And that's very sad. And that's something which is missing in our state right now.
Yeah.
It's missing in many states. Many people like Bombay won the Ranji Trophy 42 times when I was there. But even Bombay cricket is not what it used to be. I mean, you're not preparing to win.
Yeah.
You're just thinking that Bombay means you will win the tournament. It doesn't happen that way. And like I said earlier, that even other states, the smaller states, are preparing better than us.
Yeah. Even now Vidarbha is coming up, Saurashtra, correct.
So we have to change our ways. And the administration has to be very honest in trying to win. If you pick the best players, you pick the best selectors, you pick the best coaches,
yeah,
you have the best infrastructure, you have a good chance of winning.
Correct. Likewise, sir, to conclude, what is your best experiences during your playing time?
Well, there were many experiences, but I think one unique experience that I went through was I was playing a match for my office team, which was Nirlon Synthetics in Bombay, and we had a very illustrious team, Karsan Gavri, Sunil Gavaskar. We had a very good team. And on the last day of the game, we were playing against Tatas, where Vengsarkar and Shivalkar and Ramnath Parker. we were playing a very good opposition
Okay. At Jamshedpur?
in Bombay.
In Bombay.
And the unique thing was that we had to ensure that Karsan Gowri doesn't go to bat. The reason was that our Karsan had an emergency call from Sri Lanka.
Oh.
His family was in Sri Lanka and the wife was serious, and he got a call and he had to leave in the night without the permission of our office people. So our main aim was to ensure that Karsan doesn't get his batting. So we batted, I went in to play at just to bat at around 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Those days matches used to start at 10.
10,
okay.
yeah.
And we batted right through the day, and till the end of the day at 4 o'clock, 4:30, I was batting only on 28.
Okay.
And the reason why we were playing the way we played was that the opposition was so frustrated, Dilip and all, they actually called off the game.
Oh.
So that was one unique experience, and maybe it's not my best experience, but I think this is the kind of experience that teaches you tenacity. It taught me how,
Yeah.
if you're
How to
determined,
adjust yourself to the situation.
if you're determined, if you are adapting to a situation, then you can overcome it.
Yeah.
So that was one unique experience that I had.
Your childhood hero?
Sunil Gavaskar was my hero, and before that I had my hero was Chandu Bode.
And you played together. Did you open with Sunil Gavaskar?
Many times,
Many
yeah.
times.
For my office teams I opened with him, and even in Ranji Trophy I didn't open, I used to bat at number 3.
Okay.
But in my office teams in ACC, in Nirlawn, I always opened with him.
And you are the perfect all-rounder, definitely I call it, because occasionally you did wicket keeping.
That's
and
right.
even actually you had 4 wickets in your bag as a bowler. So which actually you more like, means is it to be a bowler?
Well, wicket keeping came naturally to me. Even in my school days I used to keep wickets.
Okay.
University I was keeping wickets for Bombay University. Then when I came into the Bombay Ranji team, because I came in with lot of runs, so there was even Dilip Vengsarkar was a wicket keeper. You are not aware of that probably, but in university Dilip used to keep for Bombay University. So we were all. Then I came into the Bombay team. I was selected for my batting. There was another wicket keeper, Zulfikar Parkar. So he used to keep wickets, but I played as a batsman, and that's how my keeping took a second line. But still, Sunil Gavaskar thought very highly about my keeping. He made me keep wickets for Nirlawn. As a matter of fact, when the Indian team was going to England and Suru Nayak and Gulam Parkar were picked, I was supposed to go in as the second wicket keeper, and he called the national selectors to seaside to watch me keeping also. So that was the kind of interest that everybody had, and that's what the level at which I was keeping wickets. I also kept in the Dalip Trophy for South Zone when Kirmani got injured, and I kept for the whole innings. And I got some 3 or 4 victims also in that particular match. So I was a very keen wicket keeper. I would have loved to be a wicket keeper batsman, but as fate would decided that Hyderabad team, I never got a chance to keep wickets. If I had a chance to keep wickets in Hyderabad, probably I would have been more of a specialist keeper and a batsman than just only a pure batsman.
Your all-time cricket hero?
Like I told you, Gavaskar was my hero, not only as a player but as a mentor. He was my hero. I played a lot of cricket with Kapil Dev. I thought very highly of him, and although he played along with me, I think he was at that time very quick. When he started his career, he was a quick bowler, and even when my Samira Travels, which is my company, we had our 25th year celebrations, he came as a chief guest, and he made a comment over there that this is one person who has troubled me a lot. I could never get him out. So that was the kind of person, and I think very highly of him. I also think highly of him because he didn't know a line of English. He was a very introvert person. I was in Indian board camp also with him. He was my room partner.
Okay.
And he was a very, very simple, ordinary person. And what I see of him when he played his game, he captained India. I think if you want to see anybody evolving as a human being, it's Kapil Dev.
Kapil Dev.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, he is the hero of so many.
Yeah, he's learned so much over the years, and today he's a extremely good orator. He speaks so well.
Correct.
He's called for a lot of events to give speeches. Very good public speaker.
Yeah. So thank you very much. Thanks for your time. Actually, you given a lot of information to the younger generation how to be a professional cricketer and everything. Once again, Games and Goals wholeheartedly thanking you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.